Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Super Mario Galaxy. Last time, we beat the finale, allowing us to finally save the universe. And this time, we're going to be going in to show off the bonus content. I might as well show off, on the file that you complete the main story with, you get a crown. By the way, I'm going to just copy a file just to make this a little bit easier in case I have to re-record something. And you come back. Welcome back. I knew you would return eventually. Please look down at your feet. This number you see represents the number of power stars you need to access another world. Whether you succeed or fail, just attempting the challenge will show you something about your character. You have 15 more stars to collect, and the only way to get the 15 last stars is through a unique thing that's exclusive to this game. Well, not exclusive, rather. Other games have it, but this is the only time this happens. You have Purple Cosmic Comets. Essentially, Purple Cosmic Comets have the same thing you had back before with the red star. All you do is get purple coins in this. Now, is it easy? Yes, some are easy, some are difficult. I should warn you right now, the later ones usually are more difficult than the others. However, SpaceJunk in particular is always the hardest one. Now, I'm going to say this outright for case and clarity. I will be showing off particular routes of how to continue through the stage and whatnot and everything else. I will not be doing automatic commentary for every little bit of the entirety of the Purple Coin missions, because all it is going back through the stages again, rinse and repeat, and getting every Purple Coin out of the way. I will be showing them in order based on every Purple Coin's location. However, I will be doing it in order, not doing it in the wrong order at all in the slightest. If you want to make this easier, you can actually do launch star after launch star, because purple coins are on this direct pathway. Because they're on the direct pathway, you're going to have to launch yourself from one launch star to another and do it multiple times in a row. It is very annoying, I'll admit this outright, but you don't really have much of a choice in the matter when it comes to these launch star locations. Boom! Is it easier this way? Yes, and also no. Because you get 5 purple coins per area when you go on the pathways of the launch star, but you get more purple coins if you go on the regular pathway of the planetoids. It's a lot easier to make things to understand this. And let's launch ourselves at this launch star, and whoop-blue. And there's another one coming up. We have another 10. There should be one more 10 right around this way. That is all 10 that we ever need. Alright, let's hit that power star and end this off for this stage. I'll skip to each portion of the stages that we need to get to. Now, I might as well mention before I skip things and whatnot, these Cosmic Comets do not go in order more often than not. Also, sometimes they activate new story chapters for the Dang Luma Guide, or rather the storybook. These two in particular, though, do go in order. However, you can also get to the spawn at the same time. Honeyhive Galaxy, ironically enough, is probably one of the longer ones just because of how the area is. Why do I say it's longer? Well, we'll sew that off as soon as we get into the stage. In Honeyhive, you have the entire first area to your leisure. Not many enemies, and the beast suit is not around. So do not worry about the beast suit entirely. You'll also find one where the 1-up location is located. It's super simple and straightforward. As long as you know the stage by heart, you'll never have a problem with the stage in general. I will recommend, though, that try not to fall off. That's typical in the stage, but just going to areas that technically would take longer first versus the areas that take shorter distances. It's a lot easier to take care of those areas first. Like so. Also, areas that would be a pain in the neck to go back to, such as going down the slide, is a good idea to get this one out of the way done first, because Mario cannot climb up this. Yeah, there's one thing that I don't like is the fact that Mario's running speed is just not fast enough to actually get up there unless you have that superstar. Regardless though, let's get over back to where we were supposed to get to before when I was over there. Does this take time? Yes. Ironically enough, I've done this before, and in practice, it took me an exact hour and a half to get all of them done with failures required. Now, is it common to fail in these challenges? Yes. Some of them have a time limit, others are just more annoying based on the area's design. Some also have more purple coins than they actually need. So technically speaking, you can end up with more purple coins in the area, but you only need to collect 100 that you need to complete the entire thing. It's a lot easier in depth, but I'll be honest, it's not exactly one of the more profitable things when you want to use the game. Because purple coin missions are long by nature. Anytime there are ones I have to redo, I will cut ahead and only show non-commentary versions only to show off the stage and also make a complete run because it's a lot easier to show off that way versus me just blabbing on about me failing repeatedly over and over again. It's a lot easier that way. Now, there are a few cutoff points in this stage that, ironically enough, are very annoying, such as the fact that, unlike before, the waterfall is actually blocked off entirely. You cannot go back that way normally. You have to go another way. The game actually will force you to do so, and you actually have to go in areas that you have to go back around again. There's one thing about I don't like about the purple coin missions is the fact that you have to be overly complex of where you're going. There's no good set path in this stage, and believe me, it's very annoying. And sometimes it's happening a lot. That happens way too much, and believe me, it does. Trust me, there's a later one, Beach Bowl Galaxy in particular, ironically enough, is probably one of the ones that are actually the more annoying one because you actually have to do Spring Mario, and Spring Mario is my least favorite power-up. Believe me, I don't like Spring Mario. I don't think I'll ever like Spring Mario, to be honest. I think that's one of my only Galaxy power-ups I hate. Well, because of the physics in the Spring Mario's suit. It's just bad. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because Galaxy 2's power-ups are just much better in comparison. With the exception of Base Suit, because Base Suit can be actually pretty fun to use. But other power-ups in the game are probably more easier. Now, ironically enough, you have to go where the purple coin is. Wonder why? Camera's gonna pan out. Ground pound to make this easier. Believe me, it's a far easier method to get down. This way you also don't run into issues. As you saw before, like I told you all about, honeycomb wall is going to block your way. You cannot get past it, so you have to go all the way around to get back. And believe me, exploring every nook and cranny of this area can be tedious. The pipe for you later, but in the meantime, no, we have to go this way in order to get back to where the star was located back in the Cosmic Mario run. It's not exactly hard to understand where all those are. Any secret areas and whatnot, you'll know where they are by memory if you're really careful. There's also a 1-up for you in case you need it. I would actually recommend it just in case you restarted the game like I did, because you start back from the title screen and whatnot whenever you complete the game. Now, does this mode have any unique features in general? No. A lot of it's reuse! Damn it. I'll be right back. This pipe technically takes you all the way over to the other end, and you have a lot more purple points to go for. Honestly, I'm a little annoyed that I died, but I can't help and control that in the slightest because the game likes being funny. Believe me, it does. It truly, truly thinks it's funny. Do I hate it that badly? No. Because technically speaking, there are ways to get back your lives, because technically speaking, all your dang star bits reset every single time you die. So technically speaking, I was close to 50 enough just so that way I had enough for a star. Well, enough star bits to actually, you know, survive and get another one up, just in case. Am I angry about it? Kinda. It wastes my time, and honestly, collecting these purple coin stars are a pain in the balls. Just use first person in case I need it. I don't need it though, but what can you do about it? There's one right back here, and there's 10 more to go. Where are the last 10, you may wonder? Oh, that is not fun, is it? Well, funnily enough, you can actually use this to wall jump over, but you actually need it to round down because there's a lot of stars. Ah, I'm off by 1. See you. That's a ticket. Pipe over here. They'll take you back down there if you're so newish, but technically speaking, you don't want that. These pipes aren't exactly as useful as you may appear to be, depending on the situation. Now, there are no other ways to chase it. You have to go back all the way up to the top again, so we have to use that vine again in order to get back up there. Yeah, this is why Honeyhive can be very annoying. Do I necessarily hate Honeyhive because of this? Not really. It's not the stage's fault. It's more or less the designer's fault because they decided to think, oh, good idea. Let's make them backtrack repeatedly. Yeah, this is why collectathon missions sometimes are the bane of everyone's existence. At least by this point, it's the end of the game. You don't really care at the moment. Now, am I going to show off the technical bonus of Otherworld all the way through? No. Technically speaking, that entire Otherworld thing is actually just the same game over again. And while I'll admit outright it would be fun to do that, it's literally just the same game twice in a row. And I don't think it's really that fun to do the same game twice in a row just because the game does not people want it. If people want it enough, I will do it, but I don't really want to do it. I am going to still do it regardless by myself on my own time because honestly this will take a while anyway because I have to go through the whole game again. This thing you'll know right now because this is the one thing I like about Galaxy 2 over Galaxy 1 is that the bonus mode is actually recommended and actually required. Versus the one in this game, it's, well, I'm going to have to explain that when we get there because it's going to be a lot more tedious to explain it now rather than then because it's a little bit more annoying then versus now. It's just one of those things that happen. And yes, the star is at the very center again in the beginning. Yeah, they're jerks for that one, aren't they? On to the next stage. Before I head over to the next area, you can actually check where the purple coin stars are located from the Cosmic Comets up on the board over here. Technically speaking, I was wrong. You can have multiple purple coin stars at once for Cosmic Comets. However, it's a lot easier just to go by order versus by anything else because they decrease the more purple coin stars you get. So it's going to take a while to actually get this out of the way and done. Believe me when I say this is probably the most tedious part of the game with Mario Galaxy. Is there any more tedious things in Mario Galaxy? No. Technically speaking, this is the tedious part. In order for all of you, but out of order for me, SpaceJunk Galaxy is Purple Coin Spacewalk. Remember when I said the stages would be slightly different? Well, this one in particular is different. Want to know how they make it different? Well, as soon as we make our landing, you're automatically back to the end where the first power star was located, and you have a time limit of 2 minutes. Now, in the very beginning, they will troll you immensely. There are a lot of dead-end pathways, and believe me, they have separation pathways as well. It can be very annoying to get around this area. Believe me, it is very annoying. And you actually do want to actually risk going to launch yourself over the other side. You can use the purple coins to those safety net if you need to go with long jump and whatnot. Believe me, long jumping over here is actually an easy way to do it and actually choose the entire stage. But is it a good idea? It can be if you can actually make the landing. If you can't, I would not recommend it. Because these second platforms will automatically appear as soon as Mario gets too close to them. Should you be cautious of your movement? Yes. Technically speaking, the stage is actually very difficult for those first timers. Okay. Yeah, I risked the biscuit that one. Okay, that was all me. That was all me. Oh, hello. I see that. Ah, so that. Bread baskets. Okay. We have 10 more left, and I believe it's over here. Now, before you think, oh, the timer will stop now that I've gotten all the purple coins. That's cute. You think it's like newer games. Yeah, newer games are a little bit hand-holdy. This one, not so much. So, you're gonna have to actually not try to say, oh, I have plenty of time for like 5 seconds. No, you have to do it there immediately. Anyway, out of order for all of you, but out of order for me, but not out of order for all of you, BattleRock Galaxy. Purple Coins on the BattleRock is a side-scroller stage, and if you get it wrong at the very end, you will automatically die. Yeah, this is one of those stages. You're gonna have to pay attention to where you are and know where all those purple coins are located and get them on your first shot. Get them wrong at all, you will automatically have to start back over again from scratch, and you'll lose a life for it. This is one thing I like about having lives, because now you actually have a penalty for losing versus the whole, oh, try again, oh, too bad, and whatever. Yeah, that's one of those things I don't like about the newer games versus the older games mechanics, but that's just me. Or probably more people, because honestly, I like having consequences for my own actions. Are there some that are just tricky to do? Yes. Believe me, this entire platform can be very tricky to deal with, especially when around here, because once you go over it upside down, this will become a lot more annoying. Pause actually can make things a little annoying if you're not paying attention where you're doing, and believe me, I have had that happen way too many times for myself. Okay. 1-up is actually a very good thing to grab here, because 1-up will actually save your bacon. A backflip is actually recommended to do this, not a double jump or a regular jump, spin jump, because the laser will actually still hit you regardless. You need to realign yourself, use the spin jump in order to save yourself in case you need it. That's the only recommendation I have when it comes to this area. BattleRock's probably the easiest portion not to screw up on, but it is very annoying and bad to screw up on it. There we go. Now then, every single viewer mode here will tell you, hey, very, very nice. If you get it wrong, they'll tell you that, oh, you screwed up, back to square one again, and then Mario will go like, oh, and he dies. Yep, that's how it works. They can't restart the level normally. Nope, instead, they kill you for it. Purple Coin, I'm in an orbit. This is Beach Bowl Galaxy's beachcombing for purple coins is the mission. Thankfully for my sanity, this is not a bad mission. It's ironically enough very easy. Are the ones that are more annoying? Yes. Ironically enough, they are way more annoying than that stupid blue one. That's the one I technically did first. I'm technically doing it out of order for me, but for all you guys getting it in order. So, yeah, very, very, very interesting. Very, very nice. Yeah, it's just one of those things for me. Did I really have to say that I hate this stupid thing? Yes, I actually despise the Boo mission entirely. The Boo mission just sucks. Okay, Mario. Why is up and down, down is up? That's one thing I always hate about the Mario Galaxy is because the down is up and up is down is plane controls does not work in a game that's 2D or 3D platforming. Because it really should not work like that. It really shouldn't. I never understand their design philosophy. I'll never get it. And really, I don't care. But more on that later. Technically speaking, there's a lot more found above water than down below water. If you want to, you go below water because there are purple points down here for you. There's one on this tree. Or not. There's actually one behind this rock as well, where wobbles start coming. It's a lot easier not to be in your shell when doing that, believe me, it is. Okay, Mario, can I not? The infinite spin underwater can be useful in theory, but in practicality, it's very annoying. Believe me, it is. Because man, does this stage stink. At least we only have 10 more dang stars to go after in this game. Funnily enough, I forgot to show this off. If you have a shell and go after those giant eels, well, ironically enough, you can throw the shell at their face. This one in particular drops a 1-up. Technically speaking, you have a safety net in case you need it. Believe me, it's an easy way to get the 1-up. If Mario can stop smacking the wall repeatedly, this will be a lot easier. But unfortunately, his controls is garbage underwater. Okay, Mario, please stop being funny. It never has been funny. You know I hate when I'm underwater in this game. Really, I don't like it. There are certain other games that have better underwater controls. Believe me, even Odyssey has better controls. Speaking of underwater controls, I'd say the best one in particular in any game series possibly has to be Majora's Mask on the N64 because Link in that game's dang swimming controls is the chef's kiss. Mwah. Because man, oh man, you can't get any better than that swimming control in that game. No other game ever has the swimming controls in that game, and they never will. Ironically, the re-release actually makes it worse, because the re-release means that you have to use Magic Gauge to swim at normal speed versus you trying to do it normally. I know it's stupid. One of those stupid moments where you're like, oh, I don't know why that program designed this way. Yeah, just one of those design things I can never understand from Nintendo. Then again, they really don't understand why people love Majora's Mask more than anything else in the game, because, ironically enough, they just don't really like it that much. Then again, I don't think they really like Twilight Princess that much either, because it just was Ocarina of Time 2.0. Yeah, it's just one of those things that happens. I'll be honest, I don't mind Majora's Mask. I like it for what it is, but it's one of those games. This is why I warned you all I hate Spring Mario. Beach Ball Galaxy has Spring Mario. Now, there's a weakness for Spring Mario that was never shown off. Water areas in general are Spring Mario's biggest weakness, because he can't swim. And because of that, game designers don't want you to accidentally die like that. They decided, oh, we'll make sure Spring Mario just needs powers. Before you ask, yes, you have to go all the way through the back of this entirety with Spring Mario. And there are purple coins out of the reach if you don't do this. Believe me, it's very annoying. Because I despise the force requirement on Spring Mario's part. Funnily enough, this is also an area, one of the only stages that actually has Spring Mario outside Toy Time. Toy Time technically is one that has Spring Mario no matter what. Meanwhile, other stages do not have Spring Mario outright. Thankfully, those Spring Mario is only accessible in this stage, and other stages actually get rid of Spring Mario entirely in favor of actual good controls. Believe me, I'm grateful for it. But I will say this outright, I despise having to jump with Spring Mario so many times. Okay. Okay, there we go, there we go. Camera Nary, I really wish you not to screw with me. One thing I like about new 3D Mario games, the camera's so much better. And funnily enough, we don't need it anymore, so goodbye, Spring Mario. I knew thee well. Actually, not really. I hated Spring Mario. I hate it. It's so bad. Finally free of Spring Mario for now. Raging against that stupid Boo stage. It's like the race pissed me off, and now that version of it screwed me over. Like, I don't get it. Why is that stage so bad? By the way, they bar you from making sure you don't use Spring Mario by... Actually, they bar you from not using Spring Mario by making so the walls are not wall jumpable. Believe me, it's very annoying. I don't know why they do that. I'm pretty sure it's just to stop people from cheesing it. There are ways to cheese it, believe me, out of Spring Mario. But I'd rather not do it because it's more annoyingly tedious. The game is telling you, hey, idiot, use that dang rope. And I will say I have no choice. I haven't been to the beach in a while. It's so random to say. I haven't been to the beach in a while. So, yeah, it's been like, I don't know how many years I haven't been to the beach. By the way, if you want to get these easier, you can actually just do it slowly from the first few of them. And then when you need the last ones, you just have to go around in circles at fast speeds. And launch off. There's one above. If I turn around the camera. Thank you. I would think the camera turn around to actually cooperate. Technically speaking, I don't need to worry about this one. Just cooperate for 5 minutes. Thank you. I don't need the camera to screw me with me every time. Also, I've been hearing a clicking sound lately from my dang recording. So, if I hear it, I'm going to actually have to check to see what's going on. It's just something that really happens in the game. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just older game syndrome and whatnot. Or maybe it's just me losing it, probably. And again, it would be me losing it. The last one I am missing, ironically enough, is above... Well, one of them is missing. There's one more underwater that I missed. I know I did. I know. Well, I missed one underwater. There's one on top of this penguin, by the way. Or you ask, can they be jerks about these purple coin locations? Why, yes. Yes, they can be. They hide it in corners. Believe me, there are worse ones in the game, but that's just one of the more annoying ones. Believe me, there is a worse stage coming up later that is actually worse for the purple coin missions. Ironically enough, the ones that have a box-in stage like this technically take the longest. Sea Slide in particular, ironically enough, is one of the longer ones. Anyway, on to the next of the stages for purple coins. First stage for me in the kitchen, but technically speaking, the third stage for all of you. We're going to the one place I was warning you all about. This purple comet is one of the worst. Purple coins in the bone pen. This takes place during the Boo race. Guess what your timer is? A singular minute. Good luck. Now, unlike before, you don't actually want to take your time and land yourself on the actual pole star. You actually want to make sure you're being launched out of it. You need to make sure you're actually knowing where you're going, because if you get smacked, you're going to actually have to go back to square one again, and believe me, it sucks. Now, this is why they give you a life up shroom at the very beginning. Believe me, this is exactly why. Ow. I don't really care if I lose the life up shroom. It's technically not required in the stage at all. Are you gonna fail this multiple times? Yes, actually. This is actually one of the stages that will actually make you fail repeatedly. Yep, I was at the very end and I failed. I'm gonna curse right now. Fuck that stage. That took me. I'm gonna have to cut in just because I'm a little annoyed. That took me 5 attempts just because that last stage is poorly programmed. The whole gimmick about it is you avoiding the launch stars, things, full stars that you would technically need to hit, and instead the ones farther away you want to grab. It's stupid. The first galaxy of the bedroom is actually one that I actually like because it's actually much easier. Purple coins in the puzzle cube is the base end when you let the rabbit. Or the Star Bunny, rather. But that's the official name. I just call it the rabbit because it's easy to remember. Same rule applies as a time limit like last time. However, unlike the other stage, which is more annoying with Luigi's purple coins, this one is not. Luigi's purple coins is the mission for your galaxy in quite time. I'd probably specify because that one's actually more annoying to deal with. Yes, there are Goombas around the area. Yes, it can be annoying. I wouldn't recommend wasting your time wasting the necessary amount of time to get rid of the Goombas versus anything else. You have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to actually go through. It's a lot easier just to take care of all the purple ones you need to go after versus actually dealing with enemies in the stage. Believe me, it's a lot more annoying just to deal with the enemies first versus anything else because it's a waste of time. Ironically enough, aiming above the ground versus below ground has more purple coins. I already have 47. You can knock enemies off platforms. It's actually a very useful tech. Believe me, it is, because you don't have to go around again repeatedly. Although, these platforming bridges are not my friend. Oh boy, this is actually one that I do not mind, but it's also just as annoying as the others. And there's 100. You can go in any order, but there's 150 on the dang cube. And thanks for my sanity, I have to go all the way back to the end. Goodbye! I don't have to worry about this anymore. You know what? I'm gonna ruin the actual number by going 101. Unfortunately, gravity can screw you up when you get to the end, but that does not matter if you get past it over 30 seconds. Anyway, we got the star needed. Finally, in the bedroom, I'm going out of order again, because technically speaking, it's the second galaxy in the bedroom, not the first. Purple coins in the summit. This one technically takes place in a bonus star location, but it's different here. The game will penalize you to no end for not figuring out where the first purple coins are located. It's not in front of you. Oh, no, 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 no. Guess what they do? Yeah, they do that. So mean, right? Ice physics and all the toads are freezing their butts off. By the way, if you want to hear what the toad says, you can actually talk to him right now. They can give you information and advice. I looked in the water, but there was no purple coins. It can't remove my snorkel. That's tragic. Yes, there are no purple coins at all in the water. So you don't have to worry about going in the water at all to get purple coins at all in the game. It's actually far more useful. This is the info is necessary. Ice Mario, once again, is actually one of the things you're going to need in the stage, as well as Fire Mario. It's one of the basic things you need to know about Freezeflame. We've all seen this before, believe me. It is one of the same stages we've seen in Baron Burr and whatnot. Technically speaking, you can only get this one if you can actually backflip. Anyway, Mario's Ice Mario form does not have the ability to actually grab on the areas with Ice Mario's abilities. You have no choice but to actually go ahead and wait a bit, and then wait until you get the power to transform back. Because you need to actually transform back in order to do a backflip and then do a spin. You cannot do the jump otherwise without it. And believe me, that is one people have missed so many times. Believe me on that one. Every single route is one that you have to go for, and believe me, there are several of them that can be, like, obvious and not obvious. Take care of the summit last when you're doing Freezeflame Galaxy, because it's a very annoying thing to go all the way up there in order to go all the way back down. Technically speaking, nothing is stopping you from going backwards if you so wish. Believe me, it's actually recommended. Thank goodness I landed on the power-up. Alright, so 2 ways to go, technically speaking. However, you don't really need to worry about it too much. You have to go both no matter what. That's where the technical pathway is to the summit. You don't want to do that yet. Ignore it. Oh, I did it. Okay. We don't need Ice Mario for this right now. Let's go and wait and get rid of the power-up because we don't need it. These wall clumps are actually what you need to go on top of because there are actually purple coins on top of them. And believe me, they can be very annoying. Baron Burr was actually a very easy boss. Although, like any other little burr, little cinder, they're all easy to deal with. I don't think there's actually a little cinder or a little burr that's really difficult in any of the Mario games. With the exception of Mario 64 DS, which has a big bully, but bullies are different enemy altogether, although they have to share the same body type. Speaking of 64 DS, honestly speaking, I prefer playing that game over the original because the original is just weird. You stupid idiot. Why would you go in snowy area and sleep? That's never a good combo. I will never understand the logic of putting a sling star in an area that can be wall jumped. It's just one of those weird things I don't understand. Technically speaking, you don't need this. It's actually worse than you do so because Min Jump no longer has the ability to give you horizontal movement or vertical movement at all. I think that's the worst thing about Ice Mario is because you lose your ability to do that entirely versus just getting the ability to just step on water platforms and whatnot. It's one of those things I don't like. Although we have no choice, we have to keep it with us at all times because there are way more purple coins in Baron Burr's location. And then we have to go all the way back around in order to get to the next location, which is actually right after that. Is there a cheesing area? No. Areas of cheese in this stage are very small. I am not risking it. By the way, the ice platforms I forgot to mention about Ice Mario are not indefinite. There are only a few in every area in the game. I just hope can talk to you. Frozen Peak. Ah, how nice. By the way, while talking in conversation, Mario will actually have his timer lower repeatedly no matter what. It's one of those things I don't understand how it works, but it's one of those things you have to enjoy. Okay, I do not need Mario to spin around in circles repeatedly again. That is one thing I despise about Galaxy. It's just Mario spinning in circles for no reason. It's one of those things about Galaxy that just drives me up the wall. And I will never understand why that is. And again, it never really happens in 2. 2 never has that problem. The long jump, do not go in the launch star things are yet. Use it after the other point over here. Thankfully for your sanity and my sanity, none of the purple coins are hiding in the snowmen, so do not worry about it in the slightest. All you need to do is take the purple coins that you need in front of them. Fire Mario, unlike regular Ice Mario, actually does have the ability to do horizontal movement in midair, but it's a lot worse compared to, say, regular Mario because I can just climb up normally. Dang it! I gotta go back over here again. I'll be right back. It's always the wall thwomps that tick me off. And also, yes, dying is the worst, because when you get close to the very end and you die, it's the worst feeling in the world because you have to go all the way back to square one again. It's Mario. Why? Okay. The one thing about these wall thwomps I forgot to mention is they have a lip. So when they have a lip, it actually makes it worse to climb up because they stop your movement. Yeah, I'll never understand why they can stop your movement either. It's just one of those things that always happens. I just need to time my jumper a little bit better. I didn't want to talk about that because it's very annoying. Thankfully, though, I don't have to go back to the summit anymore because I've gotten every other purple coin on the summit right now, with the exception of what's on the top. And yes, the Fire Flower is required for other ones on the top as well. There's no way to cheese it, believe me. I have tried repeatedly, however, that's just too tall. You can stop clinging onto the wall. You can see that you could land on it, but in practice, it makes you slide off repeatedly. Okay. There is a trick to it, like I showed, but it's not easy. That's probably the only snowman in the game that actually allows you to do that versus any other snowman in the game. Versus the other ones because they have a longer distance. Gotta wait until the wall thwomps get out of the way, and I can actually go back up normally. There's a lot of timing and patience. Okay, there we go. Game decided to stop being funny. Hey, by the way, Captain Toad's at the top. The summit. It's always the pure essence of challenge that burns in an adventurer's heart. Leaping from here will take all the boldness you possess. You better make sure it's a long jump. If you don't long jump, you're dead. Theory Shadow is land safely. Long jump again. Land safely. The star is back at the very entrance once again. And thankfully, the launch star will take you exactly where you have to go. Or Sling Star, rather. I keep calling launch stars and Sling Stars and Sling Stars and launch stars. So weird. Anyway, got our star here. The third one in the bedroom is Dusty Dune Galaxy with purple coins in the desert. Is a time limit one. So you have to race to go around the area with the tweezers around the map. And using them is one of the things you're going to have to do. You will start off in the last session of the first stage.
Yes!
By the way, there's no time limit on this one. I was just messing with you all because you thought it was going to be a time limit. The only time limit section in the area is just stomping on that switch. You actually do want to stop here for a little bit because there actually is a squeezer over here you want to go after. I think stopping you from immediately launching yourself, but it's never a good idea because, as you see, I miss a lot. By the way, yes, instant death, not good. Dying here is terrible. There. Swamp will also kill you if you're not careful. You can grab a 1-up. I'm not gonna say no to the 1-up because it's actually useful, but it can be annoying. Wait patiently because you don't want to accidentally rush it. If you rush it, you're dead. No penalty for hitting the dry bones, and there is a penalty for being blasted nuisance. This is degrading and exhausting for everyone that needs to know. This will take technically over an hour for me, but probably an hour regular for all of you. Also, I guess they're that mean, they put the purple coin in midair. While you could argue going that way is a good idea, you'd rather just go back down below and get that one out of the way first. It's a lot more simple than you may think. Keep saying that too much. I need to stop. You gotta launch yourself this way first so that we can get these purple coins out of the way. It's simple, straightforward. I do not care. I just want to get this out of the way and done because purple coin stars are actually the bane of my existence in Mario Galaxy. I stopped caring a while ago after the blue one. Get on, you dry bones. You killed yourself. Koopas are not exactly intelligent. To be fair, though, they're probably the undead Koopas that just do not think. And again, I guess something about undead never thinking. The only intelligent undead is in random, like, fantasy novels. Guess what number I have? And now it's ruined entirely. In case you're wondering, these rocks surrounding it, nothing. They do hurt you, and they can kill you. I'll be right back. Again. Oh, that took a while to get back here. Oh my goodness, I hated that. Died one time, literally once. Literally only one time. That is so annoying. Can't see, though. Thanks, camera. Thanks a lot. This is actually way more useful than me. Think, camera. Almost as useful as I hate how the camera likes being funny. Thank you. Now, I didn't expect to get launched into the quicksand. The game's like, ha, funny. Am I holding a grudge? Probably. A lot easier to aim it when you're in the air versus being on the ground. Believe me, it is. And crouching also is a way to dodge the dang balls around into the twisters. It's the only other way to dodge them. And ground pounding in the twisters is also a safer way to land in them. Believe me, it is. But these things can be very, very, very annoying. Going back all the way from square one sucks. Eek. I don't care. Okay, Mario, I do not need that right now. Okay, just focusing on the blasted game versus me commentating because I really don't want to die here again. It's one of my least favorite things in the game. I do not care for it. Alright, can you turn around now, please? One more to go. Down below, at the very least. Not exactly hard to hit. And thankfully, though, it's right in front of my blasted face. Not as bad as the blue one, but man, was it annoying. Remember when I said these things can go out of order? Well, they finally did it to me. It decreased the amount that would be available down to the lower numbers versus the higher numbers. Right now, there's only 2 available, and the last one in the bedroom is not showing. I have to go back to the engine room to get the next one. That's how I was explaining it before, because it's very annoying to go back to square one again repeatedly. Believe me, it is. The technical first one of the engine room is back in Golden Leaf Galaxy. And it's one that is going to be very familiar to all of you who have done this mission. Purple Coins in the Woods takes you on a course leading up to the very top again, back where the bubble-blowing mole was. Is it difficult? No. But it's time-consumingly tedious, because of the 3-minute timer. A lot of the later ones have timers on them, just to make the stress even more difficult. Thankfully for me, unlike later games where they added, say, Cosmic Mario and whatnot, chase Mario around and follows every move, this is nowhere near as bad. That's one thing I'll give Galaxy 1/2 is just Cosmic Mario. It's annoying. They follow your movements and make it very annoying. Believe me, I'm going to be annoying when I get to that game. Just man, oh man. That game is several times longer. Well, technically not, because Galaxy 2 is technically the same level of length versus Galaxy 1. It just is a different color. Although, ironically enough, the amount of stars technically end up at the very end is, you guessed it, 242. Anyway, let's get these normal points. You're gonna have to go around the track. If you follow a pathway and you see those bees, they will tell you how many you should have when you pass by them. For example, the bee number 1 over here is going to tell you that you need 50 purple coins. Don't have 50 purple coins, you should leave and go back to get the purple coins. Otherwise, you're screwed. Do not flip yet. Go back first and then jump off. Very trouble with these purple coin missions, with the exception of Boo. No. Boo 1 in particular is just terrible by design, because I'm pretty sure no one playtested that stage to actually see if it was good or not. And they wanted to make a challenge, they should have made a better challenge. You should have 70. Yes, I should. And I do indeed have 70. If you want to make this jump, you can actually wall jump over here, or you can actually just jump over here normally. Get these ones first, back to the ones at the top. Walk carefully, otherwise you're going to fall off again. Believe me, it's not fun. And there's no way to get the coins without spinning. I find it easier just to not land on the platform, but man, is this annoying. Anyway, fine with me. Again, I haven't fined in a while. Well, technically speaking, it's fine. You should have 90. Yes, you should have 90 by the time you get here. It's not a good thing not to have 90 when you get here. You don't have 90 here, and you're basically cut off from everyone else. Because of that, I'd recommend restarting the stage automatically. And now we reach the granddaddy of 100. With 59 seconds to spare, let's get over to that star we richly deserve. The technical first star to the bedroom? Or not bedroom, the engine room is done. Remember when I said I was dreading Sea Slide? Well, Sea Slide of the engine room is, ironically enough, one that takes the time to go through. The only reason it takes time to go through is because of its size and nothing else. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Go the way the course goes and just go where the purple coins are by that tower. Don't. Don't reach that tower yet. Instead, ignore that for last. You'll save yourself plenty of time if you have the way I'm explaining versus the way that you think is a good idea. Because believe me, it is not a good idea. Because I had to backtrack so many times when I was testing this game. Now, B Mario, I don't mind it, but man, is it slower than Cloud Mario. The only reason I say it's slower is because of the blasting mechanics. Unironically enough, B Mario is also the first time you have B suit with the purple coins. Purple coins do not restock the B suit's flight gauge, so do not bother the flight gauging at all if you're in B Mario. I'm thinking, oh, I can just, you know, land normally. Nope, you cannot. Other news is just one of those stages that you just have to be careful over because it's just this annoying. Landing in the water is not a death sentence, but you can get a dang B suit no matter where you are. It's not bad. Really, I say Sea Slide's the longest one because of the distance length and how they just keep spamming the B suit repeatedly. Ironically enough, you can ground pound here, but I'd rather not do that. Coming on the goal that you were at in the Penguin slide, ironically enough, is one of the areas you should go to anyway. Easy method of getting back, just go on this cloud over and bypass the goal. Because the water is a one that sucks you forward, you'd rather not fall in, because going all the way forward is terrible. We're only at 30, and we have only been here for like a minute and a half. It's already very annoying. Off to a great start. There are purple coins on the top of the tower. We're not going to bother with them until last. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and skip those purple coins right now until afterwards. Well, there I go. Mario can stop being goofy. This will be a lot easier to get back up. But unfortunately, Mario decides goofy is better than being, well, mechanically right. Thankfully, though, I managed to get out of the water. And those purple coins are a jerk, because they are literally in an area that you cannot escape. Like I said before, we're ignoring the ones on the tower. We're going to be going the way we need to go versus anywhere else. Okay, we landed. Good. Toad has purple coins for us. There are no purple coins in the ocean. Yep, you have absolutely zero in the ocean. Is that good or bad? Well, technically bad because it'd actually be faster if it's in the ocean because you don't have to swim. Because honestly, swimming's a lot easier than just using the B-suit repeatedly over and over again, because B-suit can be very tedious when it wants to be. Just because of how mechanically it works, it's just one of those things that I do not care for. Got some purple coins for you. You got 4 purple coins for us. That's actually useful. 1-up, I desperately need it. Because, man, 1-ups are necessary in the game. Because you can technically die here if not careful. Although the game's inspiration for this stage is probably likely a combination of the manta ray surfing and regular Beach Bowl Galaxy. That explains the theme. I really can't talk about much else with Sea Slide. Sea Slide's just that boring. I don't know why it's a later portion of most stages that usually get slightly boring. It's just one of those times that happens. For the cloud platform, again, we can just get up to normally. Thankfully, though, the last of the stars is thankfully being easy for me versus being hard for me. Wonder why? It's because, technically speaking, I've taken care of everyone except the garden. At this point, the garden is the last thing I have to deal with, and the garden is the easiest of the areas because it's actually only 3 stages that I have to worry about versus the other ones. And while it does take a while to get all the other stars out of the way, or purple coins rather, all the purple coins in the garden are far easier to deal with and more manageable to deal with versus the ones in any other stage or none. The only exception is the Dreadnought, which is actually the toughest. And the only reason it's the toughest is because the game mechanically acts funny. Also, yes, you can miss purple coins on the way down. It's not fun, and backtracking sucks. I'm gonna make my life easier for everyone else and just cut ahead until I get past this area. I get these 3. Be all back at that tree. Back on the tree, well, technically speaking, I had back on the tree branch, because there's actually a branch over here you can go after and grab first. Far easier to go to cloud. I mean, technically speaking, it's actually a faster method. You think they put the star on the tree? Don't be silly. Alright, that's it for that. I don't even need that beast suit anymore. I can just swim normally because through me walking there, back by the lighthouse, yeah, it took a while, and we just need a beast suit. All we gotta do, the last 4 purple coins, is simple. Climb up the lighthouse. Mechanically speaking, there's an easier way to get up there. Just go in this box. The game will cooperate. That'd be lovely, though. There we go. Okay, good. Land to land. Okay, there's one over here. You can climb up all the way. It's actually over there. Mash the button so I can actually make the landing. And now we're good. Very top. I don't know why I said there was no way other stars would be located. Well, they are jerks. They put this at the very top of a flagpole on top of the Freezeflame Galaxy. They are annoyingly rude. It's so annoying. Also, flipping is not funny because it's not actually landing me on the star. Anyway, the entirety, for me, but for everyone else, it's likely not, of the engine room is done. So, Toy Time Galaxy. This one is a pain. Wonder why? Luigi's purple coins. Unlike Mario, where you fall in and get burned by lava, remember Bowser's area of the gravity reactor? Well, it's that. Gravity reactor plus purple coins, 115 turtle, and you have 3 minutes. Make sure you make enough room for a pathway back, because the stars mean back at square 1 again. Because otherwise, going all the way back with risking a long jump. It's not fun. Here, but it's fine. Technically speaking, I don't really concern myself if I've missed a few purple coins. Technically, I can just get away with going after purple coins I need versus ones I don't care about. There's 5 over here. Ironically enough, that's very good, but you will miss some if you're not careful. There's also 1 up here. Really, believe me, I'm going to grab it just because I know fully well how I'm going to work. I know how my boss's game works. I know how this game works entirely. It will kill me at the worst interval, and I hate it. Oh, do I hate it when it does that. Aiming for the areas around first versus the areas below first is actually a good way to get around Luigi's body parts, because unlike Mario's body parts, these ones are just more annoying. And spin landing is probably the best way to land around here because, man, can this be very annoying to deal with when you're first trip here. And if you fall, oh, it is, heaven forbid, bad. Nothing is stopping me from landing on these pathways normally, and believe me, it's good that I land normally. And it can just be very annoying when landing. Alright, there we go, 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 there we go. Landing is my friend. Am I annoyed by the platforms? No, they're not that bad. Yeah, remember when I said the gravity area sucked? This is one of them, because gravity area kills you instantaneously versus your butt being burned. And butt burn is a lot easier to manage versus just falling to death. Or rather, just dying instantaneously, because that's the only way that game works. Okay, landing, and... Okay, landed. Last one. And then thankfully for my sanity, I made a pathway for myself so I don't accidentally kill myself easily. Well, easily. That's what I say, because I know fully well I could kill myself. But thankfully I did not. Got a star. Ironically enough, you can go check the map by the black luma over here, which actually shows you the Cosmic Comets are located. And this does make your life easier to find them. A lot of necessary cutting, but believe me, it's just one of those things that I have to do. Because it just takes too long to jump back and forth, over and over again, and just showing the entirety of failed recordings and failed gameplay. Believe me, I don't like showing it more than anyone else. But beyond that, let's just get to the dang garden and be on our merry way. Now we're in the garden. We can technically check to see what stage we have first. Oh, you're starting me on mean mode. I see how it is. Dreadnought first. Wanna know why I was dreading Dreadnought? Well, it's the same as BattleRock. You basically need to make sure you get all of them in one continuous cycle. Unlike BattleRock, where it's easier to catch them all, you have to bounce your platforming and seeing where they all land up. And while technically it's considered a 2D sky scroller, your movement is in 3D. So as a result of this, good luck. You're gonna need it. Believe me, it actually is good luck. You're gonna need it because this stage sucks. Love the name. Despise gimmicks. Thankfully, unlike other stages, they start you off with a life up room and a 1-up at the very beginning. Is it safety? Yes, it's a safety net so that way you don't automatically fail the mission. When landing like that, I recommend making sure you backflip, that way you hold left or right. Do not bother trying to realign yourself. It's better just to use left or right versus anything else. All it is just timing of the side scroller. That's all you have to do. If you miss one, backflip immediately if you can. If you can't, then I will say outright you're going to have to start all the way over from scratch. Just give up on the stage and go back to square one. Hey, hide a purple coin under the throne. Yes, yes I did. Run. Okay. Run! Mario! Mario! I'll be right back. Again. If you want to make it easier for yourself, spin jump to make a higher jump is actually a recommended strategy. And then wait for it. There we go. Now this one's going to be mean. You gotta go all the way right and then all the way in the middle and then jump up. Now hold up or down in order to platform around here because otherwise you are going to get hit by the cannonball and it's going to suck. Immensely, actually. The timing has always been the meanest of the bunch because Dreadnoughts always mean of their timings. Especially on Dreadnought in particular. It's one of those stages that are just that mean. You want to time your jump so you actually don't hit the cannonballs itself, you'll be good. Now, guess what? Spring robots. Time your jumps. Don't get hit by the shockwaves. And afterwards, jump on him. And I can actually go land on a platform because platform landing is actually the safest method of jumping. Because you don't actually need a spring robot anymore. Ahoo! And the last one is at the very end of the stage. And like the last BattleRock, you have a Giramu at the very end. If you fail, it will send you back to square one and kill you. You did it! Wow, you really worked for it. Quiet, you. Now here's the question for you. Is it going to be mean and send me all the way back to dang melty hot lava? Or is it going to be nice and send me to the easier of the two? It's going to be finally kind for me. Unironically enough, the last two are the easiest of the bunch. Wanna know why they're the easiest of the bunch? Well, Deep Dark just takes you back where you were first fighting Kalimia. Kalimia's old stage of Plunder of the Purple Coins is actually easier than you may think with Deep Dark Galaxy. As creepy as the stage may seem, there are purple coins right behind you. Before you ask if they're mean with the purple coins here, oh, they can be mean. There's two right under the platform, believe it or not. Camera can be also screwy around here, believe me, it sucks. You don't have much of a choice. I recommend getting out of there for your air, but there's not much you can do about it. The jellyfish, ironically enough, is actually invincible to your damage, so don't bother with it, just swim. Okay, can I actually hit the camera with the bumper for 5 blasted seconds? Okay. At the very bottom of the gate, right over here, technically speaking, is blocking off your way to other Deep Dark Galaxy. Spinning in underwater actually grabs purple coins. This is useful in case you need to grab purple coins and you don't want to deal with it. Alright, good. There is not a single enemy besides that jellyfish. Wow, what's a ghost ship doing here? Scared? Don't worry, I'll protect you. If any ghosts come out, I'll send them running scared. Too bad I don't see any ghosts. Because the stage is how it works, there are no ghosts at all in the entirety of the stage. It's actually much easier to deal with. Having a tickle in my throat that will not go away. Yeah. You look for the purple coins, just look for the shadows. It's probably the easiest method of getting purple coins in the game. Thankfully, Deep Dark is probably the easiest of the bunch, because this is actually one of the easiest things with the garden, because you don't have to worry about the game being screwy. The only stage that's really bad for purple coins, in my opinion, was likely the last one, just because of how it works and operates. By the way, speaking of which, go into the boat. There is definitely a lot of purple coins down for you, and you need to actually spin in order to get actual purple coin amounts. Believe me, it's easier. You need to time your spins so that you can actually grab the purple coins versus going, well, the wrong direction. They also are mean with purple coins around this area because they can sometimes end up in places that are, well, not easily grabbable. Why do I say that? Well, give it like a second, and you will understand why in like a few seconds. They have them on the masts. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They are that mean. And because the way this game mechanically works, you cannot, I repeat, cannot use your spin to grab them immediately. It sucks. Anyway, yes, they can also be under the boat. You want to stop your movement underwater, and that way you don't accidentally, you know, mess up. Better just to go down below afterwards and then take care of it, and just stop swimming out right altogether. Smacking against the wall is not a good thing, or smacking against the ground is not a good thing either. That way, if in case you're wondering the mast, yes, there's one underneath it. And also, mean enough, there is a purple point by the post, I believe. Oh, for once, it's actually nice to me. It's not the actor of the game likes hiding them in weird spots. They put them between the cannons. This one actually takes a longer one because it's just mechanically weird. Okay, can I not swim? Thank you. Drunk enough to actually land correctly. Nope, no cheesing. Okay, got it. No cheesing for me. I guess I gotta go normally again. Yes, they put it underneath the boat itself. It's very annoying. I can actually turn the camera around to be easier to see where the other one is, because I know it's under here. Actually, I already got that one. Whoopsie. Finagle, Mario, finagle. Okay, just let Mario get out of the water safely and cleanly. Now that we're done with that, we can actually just go on the ship itself and not have to deal with the nonsense. Whoa! I'll be right back. Mario. After that train wreck of Mario deciding to fall because it's funny. Believe me, Mario finds that hilarious. Not so much for me, but that's just me. The toad is swinging in the light. Hi there. Is there a drunk location in one of these? Oh, there is. So I don't know where it is. Well, it's up top by the dang post. What, don't believe me? Well, if you climb this up. The technical way you're supposed to do it is not use that, but instead wall jump off the post. It's weird. Also, the fact that it's a smaller object means you get the line this up perfectly. And unfortunately for me, the weirdness of the camera likes messing with me. There we go, 85. We are so close, I can almost taste it. Yep, and on the actual post of the Blue Toad's location, it's just where multiple of them are. Hi there. Want to get those rubber coins out there? Break out the long jump. The game's not kidding. You better break out that long jump or you're screwed. And about now. Meanwhile, I'll cut ahead to where the star is because I know fully well this will happen again. Oh no, for once I'm actually safe. Never mind. Ignore me, I didn't have to cut out anything. And we have one more left, and then we are free. Melty Molten Galaxy is the last one, and unironically enough, it is nowhere near as bad as it was before. All you gotta do at the Purple Coin Comet is simple. The first area of it is red hot purple coins. Yep, all it uses is the first area. It doesn't use any other area besides the first area of the game. This is monotonously easier. Compared to all the nonsense we had to deal with the other stages, this is far easier to deal with compared to other ones. You get a life up stream as well. Well, the only thing that's really a warning is the steam where the purple coins can be located. It's just annoyingly hazardous. Is that bad? Not really, because you can just avoid the timing. Avoid the proper timing. That's all you really gotta do, and you always start with a 1-up mushroom and a life up shroom if you so wish, and I recommend it for you to grab. There's one more thing we have to do before we actually end all this off. Is actually far more simple, but it will be time-consuming and tedious for me. So I'll save that for the next video, because it's a lot easier to mechanically do that versus me having to play through all the entire thing for it again. There we go. These things are mean. These things activate if you're not past them. They hide them underground, by the way. It's actually one of the more annoying ones. You gotta purposely step on it so it starts seesawing to one side, then seesawing to another. It's weird. It's annoying. Yes. Okay, there we go. Little Ember again. There again. Not really going to be a threat. I can't really just spin and get rid of it. Back over here to get the last one. You can miss it. 53 already. We are almost done with this stage. It's already halfway done. You know I wouldn't get away from not burning my butt once. You know, I'm not surprised I burned my butt at least once. The fact I hadn't burned my butt at all in the entirety of the stages is one of the most hilariously and also very good things. Also, you want to make this easier for yourself, technically speaking, the star location is spawning over there, so do not get the last one over there. Ignore them for now. Instead, go the other way, just get the other ones. Check where I'm going. There we go. Okay, land there. Go to steam. Land safely. Wait for the steam to vanish. Alright, back up the top. I was trying to cut that out, but anyway. Launch yourself out of the launching stars and land into the volcano. They decided to put coins down below. By the way, in the original game, this had 1-ups in them, and they also will burn your butt eventually. Do not launch yourself and slide down. Ow. Okay, game. The game likes screwing with me repeatedly. Burn my butt off repeatedly. I'd rather not do that again. On the plus side, we're already at the very end of this. We're almost on this entire thing. What we're gonna do is go back from here, and we can actually back from here to land around. Get a coin, which actually is something I need. Right now, I need a... Why? Good, I needed the coin. Lightning stream would have just vanished. I almost burned my own butt again. And there we go. There we go. Now all we gotta do is get up top here, and then we get the last 3 of the purple coins. We are all done with purple coins after this. Yeah, it makes your trip a lot easier just to go in the way where the star is located at the very end versus the other way around. And with that, we have collected all 120 stars of Super Mario Galaxy. What is there now left to do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you collect the last of the stars required, we now have enough star power to go to another world. Before that, we must help your special one. Because the way the game works, you have to fight Bowser again. Are you prepared to travel to the center of the universe? No. I will be saving that for the next video. Please speak to me again when you're all ready. We'll be doing that next time, and I will be honestly showing how to speedrun that area, because speedrunning it is not something I usually do, but I'll try my best. Anyway, next time on Super Mario Galaxy, we'll show off what you get when you complete everything else. And we'll do that next time. See you all next time.